Shalom friends, welcome to Daf Reactions, Bava Kamma 26. In today's page of Talmud, we pivot from talking about hypothetically dangerous farm animals and their damages liability to a far more insidious creature, the human being. I'm sure you have noticed this, but we're an absolute menace. You know it, I know it, it's unescapable, #facts. We get a Mishna that says that unlike animals, human beings are always considered forewarned, aka aware and responsible for any damages that they cause. And according to this Mishnah, it means awake or asleep, intentional or not so much, whatever. If you popped out somebody's eye or broke someone's vase, I know there's a difference in those things, but either way, you have to pay. And that rhymed. The Gemara is like, well, we'll see about that. Let's have some stories to debate this. But first, this Mishnah did feel like a bit of a critique directed at me. And before I tell you why, I'd like to offer a content warning about eyeballs. You have been warned. You may not know this because I don't think I ever told you, but for many, many years I trained in kniff fighting. And one day, to my shock and also to his, I defeated my instructor in combat by way of his eyeball. Don't worry, he ended up being mostly okay. But I am indeed so grateful that Judaism does not have the concept of an eye for an eye, literally, or we would have been side by side in that ER. So safety goggles, great invention for so many activities. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get back to the Gemara, shall we? Yes. Rabbah said that if somebody is sitting with a stone in his lap and somehow he doesn't know about it, just go with it. If he stands up and it falls and squishes somebody's sandal-clad foot, which isn't a very safe shoe, he is liable to pay damages. Rabbah continues that if that pet rock fell and unalived somebody in its fall, that owner of the pet rock does not have to run into exile because it was actually an accident. However, if somebody was sitting with a large boulder the size of a small boulder on his lap and he had just forgotten that he was holding it, and then he stands up to stretch and oh shit, it falls and unsubscribes somebody from life, then yes, he does have to go into exile because he knew he had his boulder with him. He just got distracted by a passing Bartalas for a hot second. Rabbah said if somebody was throwing a jar off of a roof and Beyonce was shooting the music video for Hold Up on the street below and she smashed it with her baseball bat, Beyonce is exempt from liability. Because as soon as the guy on the roof threw it, he knew it was going to break anyway. It was a foregone conclusion. And also, it's Beyonce. Rabbah continues about somebody who threw a jar off of a roof, but there was an air mattress below, meaning that it wouldn't have necessarily broken. But somebody whisked the air mattress away at the last second and the jar broke. Well, the person who threw it is still exempt from paying damages because when he yeeted it, he thought it would be fine. Then, however, because this is the Talmud, as we get to the end of this daf, this page, and we start segueing into tomorrow's, things get a lot darker, venturing into more extreme, horrifying rooftop falling incidents that unfortunately hit different. And spoiler alert, my friends, spoiler fucking alert. I never thought I would have to go through this one again, which just goes to show you that I really am still very naive when it comes to Talmud stuff, because we get a callback to one of the most notorious gravity-related incidents from Yevamot 54. Those who know. And for those who don't, well, trust and believe you will tomorrow. Don't just bring your safety goggles. Wear a suit of armor and perhaps a Kevlar chastity belt if you happen to have one. I don't know why you would, but just if you do. You legit cannot be too careful, is all I'm saying, when there are men on roofs with their dicks out.